Hello guys, welcome back to She's Diabetic. For those of you who are new here, my name is Andrea. I have lived with type 1 diabetes for over 18 years now, and this is a channel all about that. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I have such an awesome community here, so if you're not part of the She's Diabetic family, please click that subscribe button. First of all, I gotta say thank you so much to my boyfriend for this awesome t-shirt. Proud owner of a useless pancreas. I believe he got it off of Etsy. I will ask him and link it down below in case you guys are interested in getting one of your own. So thanks, David. So it's January 7th, and I've been sitting here thinking a little bit about my holiday and what went right and what went wrong diabetes-wise, and things that I did that I'm proud of and want to continue, and things that I did that I would not like to repeat if at all possible. I'm going to talk about 3 things that went bad during my holiday period and 3 things that went well, and see if you guys had any of the same experience or maybe it can help you in some way. So I'm going to start with the 3 things that went well. First up, I exercised practically every day. Now, this is particularly wonderful, and I pat myself on the back for this because I didn't have access to a gym. So what I did is I looked up on YouTube exercises that I could do in the home with little to no equipment. My go-to for things like this is Fitness Blender, which I will link down below or link up here, however I can link people. They are an awesome YouTube channel that do free workouts like HIIT workouts, Tabata, strength training, low impact, cardio, all that sort of thing, and it's little to no equipment. They're just awesome. So most days I did one of those workouts, and it definitely had an excellent knock-on effect of my blood sugars, my levels, and my insulin sensitivity. And I really needed that, but we'll get to that when I talk about the bad bits. My second thing is I prioritize sleep. When I felt tired, I went to sleep, and I slept and slept and slept and slept and slept over the holiday period. And it felt really good to get those kind of 8 hours of sleep for the most part every single night. My third one is that I really practiced trying to be positive and patient with myself. When things were not going my way, which they weren't a lot of the time, I really tried to keep my head as even as possible and to keep speaking positively to myself, saying, it's okay, your blood sugar will come down, it's okay to indulge, you are doing the best that you can, positively encouraging myself to enjoy the time with my family regardless of whether I was having high or low blood sugars or blood sugar frustrations, and really try for the most part as best as possible to be present with those that I love and felt so lucky to be a part of and in the company of. So let's get on to the 3 negatives, because I could stop this video right here and you guys could think, oh gosh, this girl, you know, she just had a really positive time. Look at her, isn't that great? Oh, no. Yeah, those are positive things that happened. But my goodness gracious, I had such rough blood sugar battles over this holiday period, and they stemmed from a lot of these negatives that I'm going to talk about right now. So my first thing that went really wrong over Christmas is that I overindulged. And now there's nothing wrong with that. There really is nothing wrong with that. And my positive self-talk was feeding me that positivity and that assuredness that there was nothing wrong with it. However, for my diabetes, it kind of wreaked havoc. I'm not really used to eating cookies and cakes and high fat and sugar snacks and carbs and stuff like that. I don't really do that in my normal life, so I'm not really adept at bolusing for those things. And I was doing it in spades this Christmas. Again, nothing wrong with that, but because I'm not used to that, I experienced a lot of blood sugar trouble with that, especially overnight. I would go to sleep after maybe a late, really indulgent meal, topped off with like 6 cookies afterwards because I simply couldn't stop at one. And then I'd have that slow release of the carbohydrate through the high fat. The fat was delaying the release of glucose, and I'd wake up with a blood sugar of like 300. And I'd be exhausted, and I'd be like, oh gosh. So maybe I was getting those 8 hours of sleep, but some of that 8 hours was up in the 300s, and it wasn't very restful, and my body woke up tired and dehydrated and sort of frustrated with the previous night's overindulgence. The second one is from said overindulgence, I experienced a lot of blood sugar swings that caused me to emotionally bolus. So what I mean is, like, if I had high blood sugar from eating all that sugar and high fat carby stuff, then I would take a really large dose of bolus up here and come crashing down. And then in that crash, I wasn't using glucose tablets. I was using sugar, candies, high carb cookies. I was using all those things to correct, and so this continued. That is something that I really try again not to do in my normal life, and I don't really do in my normal life on the whole. But for some reason, over the holiday period, I was like, you know what? When I have low blood sugar, I should take this opportunity, because I can eat the sweets now. Not only can I need to eat the sweets. So I would overindulge in that period and then have the high rise and do the whole thing over again. And then when I was having those high rises, I was feeling angry, so I'd take more insulin than needed, and thus the emotional bolusing. Otherwise known as angry bolusing, I've heard people call it, and that's pretty darn accurate. So my third one is kind of the reaction towards those first two, and my third one is I just reached a point of burnout. I just felt frustrated. I turned to my boyfriend towards the end of the trip and I said, I just sometimes when I see my Dexcom graph on my phone, I just want to throw my phone across the room. And I know when I get to that point, I'm burnt out. I'm frustrated with being a diabetic, but I'm also frustrated with myself, because I know I have done a lot of things that are not the most positive to deal with my diabetes. So it's this combination of frustration with self and frustration with the condition, and this tornado effect where you're just like, woo, I just want to escape this, but I can't, because it's a lifelong chronic condition. So I really hit a phase of burnout, especially towards the end of the trip, where it was just like, I don't know what else I can do. I was traveling, I was battling a lot of jet lag, I was staying in different locations. My boyfriend and I actually traveled to 4 different states. Actually, I traveled to 5 because I flew through Texas on the way home. So I was in 5 different states throughout the holiday period, and I live in London, so that was a transatlantic flight and then 5 different states. And I was just so frustrated that I couldn't control my blood sugar throughout this jet lag mayhem and everything like that. And I just reached a point where I was like, I'm tired, I don't know what to do, and I'm frustrated with myself because I keep grabbing for those cookies and those sweets and those candies, and thus the burnout. Did it ruin my holiday? Absolutely not. And a lot of that burnout didn't ruin my holiday because I was also practicing and battling that burnout with that positive self-talk. But I still hit that point of burnout, and I still felt very, very frustrated. And I kind of hit points where I was like, why? Why does this have to happen to me? Why do I have to be diabetic? Everybody else can indulge and it's okay. Yeah, they feel full, but that's it, you know? And I feel like I just felt frustrated about being a diabetic. I definitely feel like I'm out of that, and it was only a quick dip in and out of like that intense burnout. But that was not positive, and that didn't feel great. But just being honest, I felt it. So all in all, was this holiday a failure? No, not in the slightest. It was just varied and probably very normal. And upon reflection, I just feel so lucky to have been able to travel, to spend time, especially with my family and my boyfriend's family, and quality time with my boyfriend. So upon reflection, I don't think about the negative so much. But really when I get into it, I think there are things that I could have done better, and I will try to do that next time. But also that's life, and that's definitely life with a chronic condition, because it's with you all the time. Please let me know in the comments down below if you experienced any of this and what your ways for dealing with things were, or just what went wrong. If you need to vent, if you want to talk it through, meet me down there. I'll see you down there. But those are just 3 things that personally went right and 3 things that personally went wrong with my diabetes management over the holiday period. and I'm just gonna keep trying to do my best day to day. And with that being said, I really hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. Wherever you were in this world, wherever you are in this world now, please know that if you did have a rough holiday, I really hope that you're okay now, and know that I'm sending you strength and love and positivity for the year ahead. Sending all of you the happiest Happy New Year wishes, and wishes for wonderful blood sugars, straight CGM lines, all the rest of it. But most of all, you know the drill by now. I always end my videos saying this, and I believe it more and more and more every single time I say it. I wish you all a happy, healthy mind with it all. I think that is paramount, and that's what I wish you for now and the year ahead and always. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.